and K240EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's the weekend!
Warriors! Warriors! Come to play!
Yeah, here we go!
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We're broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside my partners in crime. Got the legend, Neil Lynch, and Arizona superfan, Mr. AZ Sports. And this is the Weekend Warriors. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Hey, why don't you all, if you're listening to the show right now, get involved. Get in as part of the show. Text us on the text line. It is 888-368-1580. That's 888-368-1580. Text us. Tell us how you're doing. Tell us what you think. Hey, comment on something that we talk about on the show, because we have a lot of really, really hot takes, and some of them are kind of lukewarm, I guess. I don't know, but let's do it.
You should text what I should make Ralph get me for my steak dinner.
That's true.
We're going to that, but not yet, okay?
Oh, that's true.
Also, I was pointing to you because I was like, hey, if we're live streaming this on X, on Facebook, and on YouTube. So if you're joining us in one of those, please feel free to get into the chat and ask questions, be part of the conversation as well.
All of the social medias.
And bring up what I should get Ralph to get me for my steak dinner.
Anyway, so here we go. Another Saturday morning, another big week in sports, and we got a lot of things to talk about. So let's just get started real quick. I just want to, I'm, you know me, I'm not an Olympics guy, not big. And I know Nathan's not, you kind of are a little bit. But I just want to talk about, and this is really, I want to talk about Team USA real quick. The basketball team.
Which one?
Basketball. And men's basketball, not women's. I don't really want to talk about that.
Wow. Okay. Misogynist.
Okay. I want to talk about the Serbia game.
Oh,
did you guys
yeah.
see any of that game?
I saw highlights.
Did you see anything?
I know he came back in the fourth, and it was tough.
It was tough. You know that Serbia led that game for more than 35 minutes of a 40-minute game?
Yes.
Crazy.
Against us?
Yeah.
Against 12 All-Stars? With one All-Star in Serbia, and then when they were taking timeouts, 4 guys that were smoking cigarettes, and they were leading that game for 35 to 40 minutes.
Honestly, I love that, though. They're just out, just doing all the things you're not supposed to do. Like, this is like old school basketball from the 1970s.
Right.
Do you know how many heaters people were doing in the locker room back in those days? But this is kind of, so I kind of respect them for that. But yeah, ultimately, finally the U.S. overall, it was pretty much all because of Steph Curry.
Well, it was more than Steph Curry. So it was Devin Booker who hit Devin Booker who hit a big 3, and then Kevin Durant, who's been great, who hit another big 3, and then Steph Curry, what you just said, then took over with LeBron James, and they came back. They had a 32-15 comeback to take the lead, and from that point on, they won the game. I mean, Embiid was pretty amazing in that game as well. But you got to give props to a couple of the Suns that were in that game. Booker and Durant did an amazing job, teamed up with a Laker and a Warrior. So those 4 guys did an awesome job. But I'm scared, man. They have the gold medal game today against France, and I'm a little scared.
Yeah, Victor is Victor.
You're scared of the French?
I'm scared of this game. Are you scared?
Why are you scared? Are you scared because you think they're going to not do well? They're going to not show up?
They're not performing to what I thought they would in this tournament. And I know everyone's going to argue that the other countries have gotten better, and I understand that. But I just feel like this game is not going to be that easy. You were about to say Victor Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert. Ruby's not the best, but just Victor alone changes this whole game. Like, they might as well just give him like the Devin Booker treatment, where when Devin Booker was on the bad team, 3 players would meet him at half court. They might as well give Victor the treatment of everyone should go guard him at half court and just say, anyone but Victor beat us,
right?
Because there's no one else really on that roster that you're kind of scared of at all. They're all decent.
Well, but
Evan Fournier is the most probably decent player, but like you got to give Victor.
But you had Jokic and 4 guys smoking cigarettes, and they almost won.
It's Jokic though. Like, you're talking about. He's won 2 MVPs off the top of my head, I believe. 2 MVPs.
Oh, yeah. He's a great player, no doubt about it.
He's one of the most efficient offensive scorers in NBA history.
Right.
Like, yes, he shouldn't beat Team USA like that, but it's Jokic. Like, if anyone's going to beat him, I think it would have been Jokic.
Let me ask you this. I want to you specifically. What do you think about the fact that Tatum hasn't been playing at all.
I think it just gives credibility to Devin Booker. Because
Is that what
it
that's where you're
does.
going to go with it?
That's where I'm going to go with it. Is
Are you surprised?
I mean, look at
love
Tatum in
it.
the finals. He didn't really show up in the finals. Like,
Well, he really didn't need to either.
he didn't need to, but I just think it's kind of Tatum is a fantastic player. He really is, but I think he's getting exposed a little bit that he might not be there yet. I think he can still get there, but I think it shows credibility that there's a lot of players who are a little bit better. But also, I don't agree with Steve Kerr's decision of like Drew Holiday in there as much as he was in there. I think Steve Kerr might be a little bit just not coaching the best he is, but he doesn't need to. He shouldn't need to, but he does need to.
I think Tatum will be important in 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? I think because, LeBron will be gone, some other guys
KD
will
will
be
be
gone.
gone.
Right? So I think that happens then. But you don't think, someone brought up this point yesterday. They said, do you think that coach has a problem with Tatum? Maybe he doesn't like him. I don't think that's the case. I just don't think he's a good fit. Maybe he should have never gotten on this team. I think that's part of the problem. Instead of picking a team, you pick a bunch of great individuals. And Keon made the point yesterday, Tatum's more of a Kobe Bryant kind of player. He's the one that just takes the ball and takes it all on his shoulders. And this team, that's not really what it's about. It's about a bunch of great guys trying to blend together. So I don't know.
His defensive rating, Jason Tatum, is 107.9 in his career. So it's like he's not the best defender either. Like he's just he doesn't fit the mold. I think you're right. I think in 4 years he'll be very important because KD, LeBron will be gone. Steph Curry will most likely be gone, or he'll be a very old man. But I do think Tatum.
What? How old will he be?
Curry's at, I believe, 35 right now.
So he'll be an old man in 4 years? What does
For
that make me,
for
dude?
basketball.
Oh, okay.
No, basketball-wise.
You're talking
that's
basketball.
old.
No, Ralph, you are old.
No. We need to clarify because, I'm 58. So that would mean you just might as well bury me after the show.
If you can get the Denny's discount, senior discount, you are old. I'm sorry. Both of you guys are
I don't
old.
need it Denny's, dude.
We should go there sometimes. You guys can give me the senior
Okay, so
discount.
for now on with that bet that we're talking about later, it's Denny's.
No.
All right, so
No. Wait, no, I don't give up steak dinners.
Denny's has steak. I've seen it. Anyway. All right, so I just wanted to bring that up. We have a text from Notorious J.O.B. says Tatum hit on Kerr's wife. So that's the issue right there.
Oh, yeah. It's the old, oh boy. That goes on a lot more than we realize in all professional sports.
Yeah.
Hervey says U.S. women's soccer just beat Brazil for the gold. That's cool.
Oh, that's good news.
That's cool.
I actually like the women's U.S. Women's soccer team this year. It seems to be more focused on just playing soccer.
They have a lot of the external distractions are
They're gone, right?
They're not there anymore.
And it's better because of it.
So, yeah. So I think that's good. And then, the women are going to play for gold today as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on. I
In
think
the
that
Olympics.
Team USA and the men's side's biggest issue they have to watch today is the refs.
Did you guys see this? That the gold medal is today, and today's 8/10/2024 is the date Saturday. That's two of Kobe's jerseys that retired, and his Team USA jersey.
Yeah, he wore 10 in Team USA, yeah.
That's just creepy. Like that's the stuff. When that stuff happens, it just blows my mind because that's just not normal.
Kobe's going to be there, dude.
Okay. Kobe walks out.
The spirit of Kobe will be
Spirit
there.
of Kobe.
Spirit of Kobe.
Gotta love the spirit of Kobe. So let's watch out for those referees because we know it's France.
They don't like the U.S.
Should have just let Germany take them over. Anyway, I didn't say that, did I?
All right, moving on to
Well,
No, I'm kidding.
the war crimes section
The
of
war
the show
crimes
is brought
section
to
of
you
the
by...
show. Hey, we have another text.
Do we
from
now?
1256 says, Herb Brooks said, I'm not picking the best players. I'm picking the right players for the team. That's right. He did do that.
Well, and he also got a lot of grief for that too.
He got grief, but what happened? He got a gold medal.
Yeah, and that's the never-ending struggle. Do you get a team that works together, or do you get a bunch of superstars and make them work together?
Right.
I would argue one of the few coaches in history who was able to do that. You take a bunch of superstars and make them work together. At least in recent memory, is Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
That's it. But there are no Phil. I don't think there are any more Phil Jacksons out there, to be honest. So anyway,
So Notorious J.O.B. being who he is, spirit of a Colorado hotel worker, and we'll move on. Wow. Thanks,
hey, you know
Notorious.
what? Hey, that happened.
You had to go there. Appreciate all the activity this morning right away. But
I like it. Yeah. No, that's good too. Hey, those are valid points.
Hervey said Curry did say that this would be his only chance to win a gold medal, talking about his age. So he also agrees. Curry also agrees that Ralph is old, but I sadly just think Steph Curry probably with how injured he was early in his career. I don't see Curry coming back when he's 38, 39 to try to win another gold. Like I can see Curry retiring soon too because he just is made so much money, and his team around him's not that good either. But I think Curry next offseason is going to be interesting. If they don't compete, he might ask out.
True.
He might.
Another text on the text line from Beer Bob. That's just a coincidence. That's not creepy. I think he's talking about Kobe. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, when coincidence happen, it's a big deal.
Now we have the defenders out there. That's
the
great.
defenders. Hey, I'm a Kobe defender. So
Oh yeah, you.
I don't think it's creepy at all.
You're a Kobe defender. You're a Caleb Williams defender. You're anybody who graduated from USC defender.
Well, yesterday they were calling me anti-American because I was saying that Team USA is not what they should be. Wasn't being anti-American. I was being concerned American who wants them to win a gold.
Well, and I don't.
That'll then turn
I don't think,
green, but whatever.
I think that was just anti-Ralph's. What I think was happening.
Anyway.
That had nothing to do with anti-America. But
All right, let's move on. That's enough Olympics. It's a good topic, but I quickly want to talk about some baseball, and then next segment we're going to really get into the NFL.
Baseball.
We'll get to what you want to talk
Baseball.
about. Let's start here first. I know you want to talk baseball. I really want to bring this point up because we talked about Jackson Holiday when he came up the first time. Do you remember, Neil? For the Orioles when he came up, and he was terrible. Remember, he had
Yes.
a .59 average, just miserable in 11 games, and they sent him
they
right back
said,
down.
"Get down." Yep.
Right?
Remember
So
that?
He's doing part due right now.
Oh no.
Right? And part due has been fantastic. So he has a .375 average, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs in I think it's a 9 games since he's been called up. He's killing it. So that thing of, right, you're this top prospect. Remember, he's under 20 years old. He comes up. He's kind of like, it's a big deal. You're kind of like, oh my goodness, all these guys that I've been watching my whole life, and he just failed
He
miserably.
got overwhelmed by the moment.
He got overwhelmed. He went back down to the minors, came back up, and he is just killing it. He's only the 5th player since 1970 to actually have the numbers that he has right now, where he's got 9 hits and 10 RBIs over a 7-game stretch, and 4 home runs. There's 4 guys beside him that have ever done that at 20 years old or under. They were Vlad Guerrero Jr., Acuna, Hayward, and Alex Rodriguez are the only other 4 guys that have done that. So he's in great company,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's doing a good job. So I just wanted to give him props for getting back up there and doing what he's doing, because you know what? He struggled so badly that first time. I felt so bad for him, but I'm glad he went down, straightened it out. He said some video game. He was playing Golden Tee Golf arcade game. Have you guys heard of this?
Yes.
I don't know what this is, but so you're going to have to educate me. But he's attributing his turnaround to going back down with the tides and playing that game. What is that game?
It's just you can explain it.
You can go ahead.
It's a giant console-based video game that's usually at bars or pubs, and it's basically just simulating golf, right? So it's the primary mechanism is a trackball, and you have to use the trackball to make your shots and all that. You go through rounds, and there's a lot of people who play in groups, and it's actually a very popular game, but it's a bar game basically.
It's
never
incredible.
You like it?
I want one in my house.
Oh.
I love Golden.
So this helped him get better.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I don't understand
I
it.
understand how that must be just a mental thing.
We have another text on the text line. So Beer Bob is active this morning, and here he goes. You're anti-American because you like the Seahawks and your other crappy teams, Ralph. So I appreciate that. I'm going to go to the Diamondback game today and throw a beer at you, because I know you're the beer guy at the Diamondback.
You're going to the game today?
No, but I would just to go throw something at him. Just saying.
That might be a good game today.
Don't criticize
Might
my
be.
teams.
I think it's going to be a sellout too.
So let's talk about something that's been a lot on social media. You've been involved in this, and I even went and tagged you on social media. It's the conversation that this gentleman started, and some other people have started, saying Martell should be the MVP. So
Ketel Marte for MVP.
Ketel Marte should be the MVP. So,
Okay.
So before you give me your side of it, let me give you facts.
Oh boy,
I got him here too.
Okay, but
I
let
was
me give
gonna
you
say.
the real facts.
this is gonna be fun.
All right. So, you ready? You loosening up? I want you
1
to
minute.
loosen up for this.
Well, we may have to talk about this after.
It's
going
going
to
to go into the other break.
Yeah,
but
yeah. All right.
Ohtani right now is a Triple Crown candidate in the National League. Okay. He is tied for National League lead in batting average, leads in home runs, 35 last night. He hit the back of the monster back there. Ranked 2nd in RBIs, 1st in OPS, 3rd in stolen bases. This guy's on top in almost every category that you need to be on top of. Let's look at Martell. He's 16th in average. He's 6th in home runs. He's 9th in RBIs.
30
He's
seconds.
11th in OPS. Before we go to break, because I know we have to go to break, and I'll let you talk after break, I want to stress one most important thing to you. And I like what he's done. This is not a 1-month award. This is a season award. So focus on that. When we get back from the break, I'll let you go ahead and give your side. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
Yeah.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Lee Kum Kee.
Welcome back to the Lee Kum Kee request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Kum Kee.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Summer's just getting started, so fill your cooler with the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. And with a 5% kick of alcohol, Twisted Tea is perfect for the beach, the lake, or wherever you're hanging out and day drinking with your friends. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
The road to better health leads to my longtime friends, Dr. William Gaspar and his wife Ava at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. J.D. Hayworth here, and the buzz about Beehive is spelled out in its middle name, IV. Not only are today's popular treatments available, IV hydration, joint injections, semaglutide for weight loss, as well as many more, it's also the Gaspar's holistic naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. That means treating the underlying causes of chronic disease, from chronic fatigue to fibromyalgia, even those dealing with Lyme disease and lupus. The experienced medical staff designs a customized plan for each patient. So walk in or make an appointment today. Mention my name, J.D. Hayworth. Get half off your first treatment. Better health awaits you at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your cell phone. And remember, you'll thrive at Beehive.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even
Now.
don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, Mr. AZ Sports, go ahead.
Ketel Marte deserves to be the MVP conversation right now, and Shohei right now, I wouldn't say is the NL MVP. If you're talking all these statistics, you're talking all these great statistics. The most important statistic in baseball is WAR. Ketel Marte has officially passed Shohei Ohtani in WAR. Shohei Ohtani doesn't field. All he does is goes up and bat. Ketel Marte is above average fielder too. And if you want to talk about this is a season reward, we need to talk at the end of the season.
Right.
If you guys don't win the division, there is zero chance Shohei should be the MVP if they don't win the division.
It's not a team award.
You guys cannot hold on to a lead in your division right now. You were 12, 13, 14 games ahead when you bet me that you guys would win the division by over 17 games. And I said, I'll take that all day. You are 2.5 games ahead with this MVP candidate. Okay, great. This is a season award. But let's talk about since the All-Star break, because this has been drastically different. Shohei is batting .230 since the All-Star break. Ketel is batting .319. Do we even want to talk about Harper? Because Harper, what's going on with Harper? 1.198 since the All-Star break.
I'm okay with that.
Did he die?
I
know he hit a home run last night, but the absolute conversation that Ketel. The sports books are finally paying attention. You could get Ketel plus 3,000 a few days ago, but now he is the second favorite at plus 550, which shows respect to Ketel. But a designated hitter should not. I get it. He's leading every candidate, but you have someone on the other side of the field who's actually playing defense and wins above replacement, which is the most important statistic in baseball, above Shohei now. I understand if they win the division, great. I can give the MVP to Shohei because you won your division, you took care of business, you showed up at the end. But if you guys get passed by the Padres or Diamondbacks, the whole MVP conversation needs to be open. And the disrespect to Arizona sports, national media-wise, will be the reason why Ketel Marte doesn't win it. Shohei's in a big market. Everyone loves California. Everyone loves LA. Everyone loves the Dodgers. They're the big super team. That's why he'll win it. But what Ketel is doing for the Diamondbacks is a bigger impact than what Shohei is doing on a super team. You have a guy carrying this team to be one of the best teams in baseball right now, and you are not even considering for MVP? I quit!
So here's a point you brought up earlier when you were talking about that. You said that if the Dodgers win, then yeah, it's reasonable to give Shohei the MVP.
Yes.
But if the Dodgers don't win their division, they shouldn't. So let me ask you, how many times has Shohei Ohtani won the MVP?
Twice, right?
He's won it twice. Yeah. What team was he on?
The Angels.
Did they win their division?
No.
Okay. How about in 2019 when Mike Trout won the MVP? He was with the Angels.
Yeah.
Did they win their division? No. So
it's not a team award.
I don't think that's the case. Now it is the WAR. Explain to the audience what WAR is.
Wins above replacement. It's the most important. It basically says how good a player actually is, and you want to be positive. You don't want to be negative. So the higher WAR you are, the better player you are. And Ketel Marte has actually passed Shohei last night. I checked it today, which is shocking because Ketel Marte and Shohei have both had terrible 2 games. It's actually kind of been embarrassing to watch for both of them. But he's actually passed Shohei finally. So it's the most important number in baseball. Shohei's leading every other statistic, and that's most likely why Ketel has passed Shohei for WAR is because of his defense, because Ketel Marte is a defense. But if you're talking about most valuable player, the most valuable player to a team, Ketel is more valuable to the Diamondbacks than Shohei is to the Dodgers.
Oh,
now
I disagree with that.
Ooh,
you guys are a super
I kind
team.
of agree
I
with.
disagree.
I kind of agree with that. Here's why. In defense of that point, this is as a lifelong Dodger fan, this has been my frustration with the team. There's a lot of things, right? The injury bug, whatever. But to me, Shohei Ohtani doesn't make that, and this is a super controversial take, and you're going to rip me for it, but I don't think he makes the team that much better at this time. Because here's the thing: if he did, there would be a lot of instances where he would have delivered when there's runners in scoring position, and he gets up there and he hits a ground. I get it. Yeah, he has, but not as much as he could. I've watched plenty of games where I've watched him leave the bases loaded to leave runners.
He's leading the league
ducks
in
the pond.
RBIs.
Yeah, he's leading it, but he's not hitting it when it matters in cases.
What?
Absolutely. Well, unless I'm watching a different baseball game than you are.
I mean, he's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, dude.
Well, and they're also about to get caught by the Padres and the Diamondbacks.
But that's not his fault. That's a lack of pitching because everybody's hurt.
Well, no, I understand
Mookie
that.
being out.
A lot of those things are all valid. I'm just saying that for me personally, I can see an argument where somebody other than Ohtani or Aaron Judge, for that matter, wins the MVP.
So now to go off that, you're saying he's leading, which he is. Okay, hits. He has 6 more hits, 6 more home runs, 3 more RBIs, stolen bases. He's going to dominate. Batting average, 0.5 more. He's not like he's running away with this.
Dude, he's going to win the Triple Crown.
But he's not like, maybe.
He has a great shot at it.
Great. But the way he's hitting right now, he won't.
Why should he be penalized for being a DH? I mean, the only reason he's DHing only is because his arm is rehabbing.
But it's
and he'll be pitching next year again. He'll be one of the most dominant pitchers in the National League. This guy, again, he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. This guy is the best player in our game. He's generational. We haven't seen somebody like this since God knows when. I mean, we just have to all admit that. We all just don't like him because he's a Dodger, right? The hate is because he's wearing a Dodger uniform. That's all it is. He's the best player in the game by far.
He's one of my favorite players to watch.
But unless he's wearing a Dodger uniform.
No, he still is. I got good tickets for the Dodger series for that reason because I want to watch him play. But I just think the most valuable player, you look at who's the most valuable player, Ketel's more valuable to the D-backs than Shohei's to the Dodgers. Because you guys, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, you guys got all these superstars.
They've all been gone most of the year.
Doesn't matter. You guys, he's not, if Shohei disappeared for another injury, it wouldn't be as big a deal if Marte went out.
Okay. Let's agree to disagree, but you're wrong.
That's fine. You're wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm going to enjoy the fattest steak dinner of my life on you because you got all cocky about your Dodgers winning the division.
And they still will.
My MVP made it interesting.
Right. So let's review the bet for those who didn't hear about this. Is that several shows ago there was a discussion about how many games the Dodgers would win the NL West by, and there was some heated exchange. Nathan very, very calmly and very collectively.
Those words don't work together.
He said, pick a number, pick an over under, and if I'm over, obviously if the Dodgers win by more than that, I owe you a steak dinner. But if the Dodgers win by less than that, Ralph owes Nathan a steak dinner. And the number they picked was 17. So the Dodgers have to win the division by 17 games in order for Nathan to have to buy Ralph a steak dinner. At the rate it's going, I'm kind of a math guy. I don't know what to tell you, Ralph, but I think you'd better start saving up some money for Arrowhead
Look,
Grill.
what'll happen is by the time we hit mid-September, if it's not working my way, I'll fire him. And then I won't have to worry about it anymore. I'll never see him.
Did you ask to know how many games the teams are back? No, but I'll tell you right now. Padres 2.5, Diamondbacks 3.5, and now the Giants at 8. So you need all three of those teams to fall apart.
You're talking about the three hottest teams in baseball.
I'm just saying, you need all three of those teams to fall apart in the next 45 days. I am getting 4 tomahawk steaks, and I'm going to eat 100 ounces of meat in front of you and say, when they say, would you like to split the check? I'm like, no, all to him.
So kudos to the National League West.
Kudos.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
It's made it entertaining.
With the exception of the Rockies, who I don't know why they're in the baseball league.
They should be
kudos to the
relegated.
National League West because they're all hot right now. And this is my point. As hot as those teams have been, and they will cool off, as hard as they've been, the Dodgers have been cold as heck, yet they still hold the lead. And Mookie's coming back in right field, which I'm glad he's coming back in right field. I think he's a game changer in right field. He'll be back next week. That's a game changer for the Dodgers to have that bat back in a lineup. Muncy's getting close, which is great news. So you're going to have that top 5, 6 going at it again. And the Dodgers are a different team when those guys are playing. So you got to remember that. And the pitchers, I mean, like today, we're going against that phenom and the Pirates, right? Was it Skeens? Whatever his name is?
Yeah, Paul Skeens.
Going against River Ryan, who's pitching his 3rd professional game. And that's where they're at right now because their guys are all get hurt. They get one guy to come back, and poor Brudar Gatterall. Did you see him come back?
Yeah, I saw Gatterall.
He comes back, pitch
Injured.
number 8. He hurts his leg. That poor kid. I mean, but that's kind of been the luck for the Dodgers on the mound this year, unfortunately.
This is where we should be playing.
And we're still in first place.
We should be playing some soft music now, like
He's gonna choke.
violins.
He's gonna choke.
Like My Heart Bleeds for Us.
Go ahead.
You want to talk about injuries
You've
to
had
pitchers?
some, but not like ours. But you've had
Some?
Ours have been talented people. Yours have been just...
Merrill Kelly's not talented? No. Zach Gallen's not
I
talented?
love Zach Gallen. I think he's very talented.
Eduardo Rodriguez, we don't know what he is yet, but Zach
I think we know what he
Gallen...
is.
I mean, he's an...
Hey, at least I'm not a Diamondback pitcher complaining that it's too hot in there.
Okay, I will not defend Jordan Montgomery much. I'm on his side on that one. The AC at the stadium is so bad.
Well, that's been a known issue, too.
Ever since the Morgan Wallen concert last year, it has gotten... I think it was like 94 last night when I was sitting down there. I was covered in sweat. Like, I get why he's saying it's bad and it's humid because... The AC, if the Diamondbacks do anything this offseason, just fix the AC. Like, they don't need to fix the cracks that look like a hazard issue. Like, we can live with that. No, we can't. But, like, I literally thought there was part of going to fall through.
Cracks. Fix the gaping holes in the infrastructure.
Yeah, fix the gaping holes that I'm like,
That's
I
fine.
kick it, and I'm like, I don't know if that is safe. But, like, it is so hot in that stadium. And Merrill Kelly's complained about the same thing. He says it's caused him cramps. So, it's like, maybe I get it. So, I'm just on Jordan's side on that one.
Okay. I think we're good. I think I'm done with baseball. Are we done with baseball?
Thank goodness.
Because, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm going to let my Dodgers do the talking.
I've
for me.
noticed that about you, Ralph.
Let
Is
the
that
Dodgers talk for me.
when the heat gets too hot, you get out of the kitchen pretty quick.
Well, not always. Last text about baseball. 1256 need maybe Chicago White Sox talk. No, I'm kidding. All right. Yeah, I don't know.
Chicago White Sox. That meme of Miguel Vargas
Oh,
sitting
that
in the
was
dugout.
horrible.
That poor guy. Like you
Oh,
gotta
did
feel
you see
for
that?
him.
No, I didn't.
The meme is great. He's in his White Sox gear, sitting in the corner of the dugout, just like the 1,000-yard stare. Like this is my life. I was on the Dodgers. I got traded to the White Sox.
That
That's
guy.
I didn't
sucks.
even think about that.
Brutal.
I would
Brutal.
I would be like, can you guys just DFA me?
Yeah, exactly.
Someone will take my
Can I
contract.
go play for a double A team?
All right, let's talk NFL. All
right.
The rest of the show we're going to devote to NFL.
The National
Okay.
Football League.
And I know you guys, I saw this on the news last night too, but I know you brought it up about the food line at State Farm Stadium for the Cardinal games this year.
So, yeah, let's talk about that for a second. And partially this is because Nathan on his social media does the whole, he brings outside food to the games. And honestly, I see all those and I get pretty hungry watching them. But he has a good variety of stuff. So Nathan's a foodie. So I think this will be right up your alley. So State Farm Stadium announced several new food items that are going to be sold at Cardinals games this year. So for those of you going to Cardinals games this year, we'd love to get your take on some of these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off the new food items, and I want each of you to give me an instant hot take. Either yes, I would eat it, no, I wouldn't, and not so sure. Okay, you good with that?
Yep.
This is for both of you. All right. So the first new food item is the Red Zone pizza from Spinato's. Yes, no, maybe so.
I mean, I'll eat it, but my expectations are going to be low because it's probably going to be like super tiny.
Okay, maybe. All
I'd
right.
eat it.
Okay, yes and maybe. Okay, here's the next one. I think I know how you guys are going to react to this one. Vegan pizza.
No.
What do you mean? Is it vegan toppings?
Yeah, well, obviously.
Non-dairy?
Yeah,
I
nothing
eat that
dairy.
stuff already, so yeah, I'd eat it.
No.
Okay, I forgot. Yeah. Ralph has a lot of dietary things going on. So, yeah, actually, I'm not
Hey,
surprised.
that's a
you did
HIPAA
that.
violation, dude.
Okay, well
That's
then.
HIPAA right there. Don't be hipping me.
Oh, I'll hip you. I'll hip you, baby. Well, too bad. You didn't sign anything. All right. So we got the vegan pizza, no and yes for sure. Now, there's the next one. Now, let me read you the whole description. A cotton candy burrito, only available on the club level. All right. It's a cotton candy flavored ice cream, Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, marshmallows, Skittles, mini M&Ms, gummy bears, and sprinkles wrapped in a cotton candy shell. Yes or no? Would you eat it?
I'm going to try it.
Yes.
Oh, of course you are, because
I'm
you
gonna
need more
try it.
energy.
If
I was 6, I would. No, it'll give me instant diabetes and kill me.
That's a thing. I see this and I'm going. If you want diabetes, this is your
I'm gonna
your
try it.
food item right here.
Dude,
That's
it's gonna,
awesome.
It's going to light you up.
All right. Here's the next one.
I'm excited to try it.
Here's the next one. A Sonoran dog.
45 seconds.
Yeah.
What's a Sonoran dog?
It's a dog wrapped in bacon, isn't it?
I guess so.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, I would do a Sonoran dog.
There's a bunch of others here I'm going to skip, but I'll do one more. How about the Barrio Queen nachos? Beef burrilla. I'm pronouncing
30
that
seconds.
wrong. Green chili pork, elote, and dessert.
I mean, I'll be in the bathroom for the rest of the day, but I'll try it.
All right.
No, I won't do that.
Anyway, so those are the meals. There's a bunch of other ones. I'll talk about one more on the other side of the break because I think it's interesting.
Okay.
But then I'm done. But then we
15.
can go on the rest of the NFL. So
All right, yeah, we'll finish with that, and then we got all NFL.
10.
So Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local. It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Come Key.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Someone will.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017, and 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car.
How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIMO for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIMO for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIMO.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or...
This is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Baby, I'm howling for you.
It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580 The Fanatic. All right. Real quick, text line. Pippi No Stockings. That burrito sounds like something Elf would eat. Actually, it absolutely does,
That is elf food, yes.
Yeah.
True.
What do we got going on the chats?
Hervey's just talking about Caleb Williams, your favorite quarterback, going 2
Yes.
for 2. And then Joel giving me a shout out, which I appreciate that, Joel. But Caleb Williams, man, he's going to be fun to watch this year.
Yeah, he is.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait till the first actual game. He's not going to play in the preseason.
No, he's playing right now.
Oh, he's playing.
2 for 2.
2 for 2 on the opening drive.
Okay, I'm obviously somewhere else. That was woof. Wow, I need to stop hitting the glue so hard. I picked a bad week to quit snorting amphetamines.
I like just an average Joel, man. Nathan doing big things. Talking a lot of big game, Nathan is.
Big game, Nathan. So, hey, real quick, before we move on for this, so there's one food item I wanted to call out and ask you guys if you want it. It's interesting to me because apparently very few NFL stadiums serve sushi, but the Cardinals is one of them. So I think it's Kaizen. I'm mispronouncing it. Kaizen is doing a Cardinals roll this year. Spicy crab, cucumber, panko shrimp, topped with spicy tuna, black masago, I'm ruining it, and spicy mayo.
Bird?
Would you eat that?
I think
no bird. I just got that.
I think it should just really come down to price.
But you would
No, forget price. It's free.
Let's say
I'll eat it.
Okay, so you would
You'll eat anything. You're like a garbage
I
disposal.
really will. I would literally almost eat anything.
So do you prefer sushi?
I love sushi.
Okay, that's I like sushi
I hate
as well.
sushi, so I wouldn't touch
You hate
it.
everything.
Well, he's never mind. We can't talk about it. HIPAA violation.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat it.
Well,
no.
you want to talk about his health issues live on air? I can bring him up.
I can bring him up. What are you, my doctor?
I've seen the records.
Is that why you came in here with that glove?
Yep.
Oof, okay.
All right.
Moon River.
All right.
I'm uncomfortable.
Let's go to jump to Cardinals. Let's jump right to the Cardinals. All right. Kyler Murray. So first off, we all went to the red and white game.
Yes, you mean the practice
last week.
We're talking practice.
We're talking practice. Yeah, he's all there with your little flags and stuff. It was really cool. It was a cool environment. There was a lot of people there.
Oh, there was a ton of people.
Tons of Cardinals
That was
fans.
crazy.
Most fans that ever showed up to a practice of all time was like 26,000 record breaking.
Was it really?
Yep.
It definitely felt like it for sure.
One thing that I noticed when I was sitting there and kind of just people watching and stuff is the excitement around Marvin Harrison Jr. The minute he came out, everything he did, everybody was they were focused on him. The cameras came out when he was doing his routes. It was all about Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, that kid's going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders this year.
Yeah.
Right?
He has to carry a whole franchise basically at this point. Because Kyler can't.
I think Kyler can. I think the excitement around the team, even Vegas is starting to change their odds. Vegas had it at 6.5 wins. Now it's 7.5. I think people are sleeping. I think you guys are about to wake up. Like, I know you guys are
We'll see.
old, and this is about the time you wake up in the morning anyways.
Actually, old people wake up early.
Oh, do they? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're up at 5 a.m.
I'm still young.
You're the one that wakes up late.
I do, actually. I think there's a lot of excitement around this whole team. It's this full season with Kyler healthy, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride's going to have a bust-out season and be one of the top tight ends in the league.
You know, I want to tell you no, but I'm impressed with him. I was watching him when we were sitting there. He's a big dude, obviously.
Huge.
He reminds me a little bit of gosh, I can't remember his name for New Orleans. Graham.
Oh, I forgot.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. He reminds me a little bit of Jimmy Graham. He's kind of built like Jimmy Graham. He has really good hands from what I saw at the practice. I was really impressed with him. I liked what I saw with him. So I might want to side with you on that. I think he has a shot at having a really good year if little Kyler can actually get him the ball.
I think the same thing you've been saying the whole time is just true. This just comes down to defense. Can they improve from 27-28 to 20? Because if they can,
I don't think they can.
I think they can.
Based on what?
They brought in free agents. They didn't bring in a superstar, but as we've learned,
you don't need superstars.
As we learned with defense, it's more about scheme.
Yes.
And Gannon, he can scheme. He showed it last year when he had the defense playing hard and competitive in most. We were almost in every game besides the Browns game. He can scheme well. So can he get the defense from bottom 5 to mid-average? If he does, this team could be sky's the limit. So I think there's a lot of excitement around this team. I do not like what they're doing with Kyler not playing any preseason.
I want to talk about that.
I don't like it. I
think he needs to play. He needs reps.
I kind of look at everything of if Patrick Mahomes is doing it, Kyler should be doing it.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is playing preseason.
You should play a little bit.
Caleb Williams is playing preseason.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, but I think he should be playing at least a drive or two, get some real game reps. I'm excited to see some Marvin Harrison tape preseason, but I do agree with you that I think Kyler should be playing in preseason.
What do you think?
I struggle with this one a little bit because I think that, well, it's almost like the postseason argument, right? If you take that bye week off, you're almost, I mean, what's the record? Statistically, it probably isn't bear out, but it sure feels like they struggle, right? And so I think that to get into the flow of the season, unless there's an injury reason, then I think you should be playing. You should play a little bit because preseason is getting yourself back into the flow of a game, and there's a lot that goes on in an NFL game for sure. So to just not go into it and then jump in, you have to be a 20-year veteran or just a otherworldly person to be able to not benefit from spring training from preseason,
especially when you have a bunch of new pieces on the offense, right? I mean, I think it's a good idea to get your reps in.
I agree.
You don't want your first reps to be game one. I think that's a mistake. So I think we all agree. I think Kyler, it's a bad thing that he's not getting preseason. I think it's a really bad thing.
I agree. I think we all agree.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time on that show we've ever all agreed on one thing.
And this will be the last show we ever have. We can't have the show anymore.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but we talked about that. The Ayuk drama. So Brandon Ayuk, right? I mean, he got an offer, I guess, to go play with New England for $32 million
and Browns.
And he said flat no to the Browns. He didn't want to play there. But he's in Ayuk. He didn't want to play in New England because he said there's the quarterback situation sucks there. He doesn't want to go.
Yeah, that's true. And that's true.
I don't blame this guy. Is this guy going to sign back with the Niners? What's going to happen to this guy? What do you guys think?
Well, obviously the Patriots situation is pretty volatile right now, and also too, those fans are brutal. Like they're like brothers and sisters. They fight with their teams. They love them, but they'll be the first ones to boo them or yell at them or kick them around if they're doing poorly. He may not like that environment. I think if you're going to go somewhere and he's getting an offer from Cleveland, listen, Cleveland's Cleveland, right? I get it. It's not the worst place to be. Honestly, especially during the NFL season, not the worst place to be. There are worse places, but from a fan base perspective, from an impact on the organization perspective, I think he should consider it. If he doesn't want to, hey, I'm not the one doing it.
Well, the Steelers really want him.
Well, I mean, obviously,
the Niners are saying they're not offering him enough. That's the argument, right?
Well, also too, I don't. Yeah, for me personally, like I have a hard time with that because to me, the money they're making is so over the top anyway. Right. Like I would take a fourth of that to go somewhere. So I can't say.
The Niners were saying they're trying to hope that a third team gets in the mix so they can make something happen with the Steelers. The Niners just want draft picks, right?
Right.
The Niners have a problem next year. They
don't want draft picks.
Well, I think they do for this reason. Purdy has to get paid next year. You can't pay Purdy. You can't give this guy 30, whatever he wants a year. Something's going to have to give next year with the Niners. Their window's closing really quick.
No, John Lynch wants an impact player.
Yeah, but how can he afford an impact
That's
player on top of having to play Purdy and everybody else next year?
I think that's a next year problem. But that's why
it is a next year problem.
That's why Amari Cooper was rumored as part of the trade, because John Lynch is notorious if he's like, I want an impact player if I'm going to trade him, because this season they're still in win now.
I think this is
the last season
before it starts getting harder.
Yes.
Not that they can't win after this season, but I think it gets harder.
I think that's the problem with Ayuk is they want an impact player, and only that people want to trade for him is give draft picks.
Well, how about Juju Smith? Juju is he had a bad year last year with New England because he had no one throwing him the ball. But if you look at his stats before that, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think
right,
he's
and
great
he's
on
sitting
TikTok.
there now looking for a team.
I think he's great on TikTok.
Great on TikTok.
Yeah, he's a great influence.
You don't think he's great on the field?
I wouldn't assign him.
Why? Look at his numbers.
Nah.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver.
Does that really mean much anymore?
It means you got 1,000 yards.
17 games.
Yeah, that's a good point. These being 1,000-yard, 1,500 yards maybe, not 1,000.
So no Juju.
I mean,
you got bad juju.
I wouldn't.
Bad juju.
I just don't. That doesn't move the needle for me at all. Like that just doesn't. Like I don't. Just doesn't.
Bad juju.
So okay, I mean that you think bad juju too?
I think so.
So 2 bad jujus.
I'm voting bad juju.
I'm positive juju. I think
you're good juju.
I think I would take juju in a second. The Cardinals should take juju.
How many times can we say juju in one segment? I feel like we're going to set a. We should talk to Guinness about this because
isn't Juju
fantastic.
just a slot receiver?
Basically.
Yeah, we have Greg Dortch. We do not.
Greg Dortch is 4'6",
and he will be one of the best slot receivers in the league this year.
Kyler's never going to see him over an offensive
It's
line.
like the A-team. If you can find him.
So when we went to that practice last Saturday, you pointed him out, and I was like, "That's ridiculous." He looks like a grade school kid on the field. He's tiny. Of course, Kyler's already small.
Did you see what Kyler said about him, though?
No, what did he say?
Kyler said Greg Dortch would be a top 5 receiver in this league if he was over 6 foot tall. That's how much respect this guy has in his locker room.
If I was 20 and in better shape with great hands, I could be a great receiver in this league too.
You're not. You're not. You never.
Neither is he.
He can be. He's already on the roster.
He's on the roster, but is he going anywhere?
True. I think he'll have a really good season. I think he will.
You think so?
What you want to play? What? How many yards do you think he'll get?
Oh, here we go.
What did he have last year? I have no idea.
I smell another Arrowhead Grill bet.
No, let me get some history on this because I don't know anything about him except that he's tiny.
Yeah. I gotta find out this.
Yeah, because you can't find him because they don't have stats for him. They only put NFL players in the stats thing. Anyway,
he had 467 yards last season.
That's
in 2022. Sorry,
that's not good.
Last season was a down year, but last year you don't.
So it was less.
Kyler didn't play last year. Can you judge anybody's stats off last season?
Sure.
Nah, I disagree.
You can judge their stats if it fits your argument.
He had 280
If it doesn't
yards.
fit your
280 yards last year. What was our bet now?
But he didn't play. I don't think he played much.
You think he's going to play much this year? You don't think Harrison's going to get all the work?
Harrison's going to get a lot, but Greg Dortch is the leading slot receiver.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I think he's too small.
That's fair.
I mean,
I
put him on punt returns.
He wasn't very good at punt returns.
No, you think he can kind of get around and
punt returns been weird lately. Has anyone really been elite at punt returns in the last few years? Like we haven't had
we've had a few good ones, but nothing
we
crazy.
haven't had like an Antonio Brown at a punt return for a while.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I agree with that. So okay, Cardinal thing. So again, we went to the training camp. I thought it was really cool. There was a lot of energy there. There was a lot of people there. It was kind of cool to watch that whole thing kind of come together. All the focus on Marvin Harrison Jr. And I know we talked about last week. You had talked about you felt the Cardinals were going to go ahead and get into Buffalo and win that game 1.
I do.
So I went back and said, what's going on in the last 10 years of the Cardinals? I wanted to see how they've done opening because I have no idea. So what I found is they're 4-5-1 in the last 10 years.
On the first game?
On the first game.
Did you check Buffalo?
No, I didn't look at Buffalo. I just looked at the Cardinals. So last year they lost to the Commanders. Year before that they lost to KC. Then they beat the Titans, the Niners, tied the Lions. Can you imagine tying in week 1? That's
like kissing your sister.
You're waiting all year to get going. You get going and you get a tie. Anyway, then they lost Commanders, lost Lions, lost Patriots, beat Saints and Chargers. So they're so on opening games.
Bills are 5-4. It says since 2015, so week 1. So they're
very similar.
They're very similar. Buffalo doesn't get good till mid-season. That's just who Buffalo is. They're not. They never come out scorching hot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be. I think it's a toss up. I don't think there's any clear advantage to either team. The Bills are going to be really good down the, like you said. They get hot later in the season. So
in 2018, they lost to Baltimore Week 1 by 44 points.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to face Baltimore.
That's a
week
butt
one.
whooping.
Awesome.
That.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one game.
I think the Cardinals take it.
You know what's funny? First game doesn't really mean anything anyway. Everybody gets all freaked out by that first game. But
it's the debutante ball. It doesn't matter. It's ultimately,
Right.
exactly. I agree.
Okay, so I'm looking at all this NFL stuff this week. I'm just trying to get myself going, right? Because NFL is getting so much popular, and it's just go. And some depth charts came out, and I was looking at the Broncos quarterback depth chart. So you know how Sean Payton is just doing nothing but talking Bo Nix.
Yes.
How great he is. He could take this thing over. He could be the guy. Their depth chart comes out. He's number 3.
Seriously?
Yeah. So you've got Jarrett Stidham at 1, Zach Wilson at number 2, and Bo Nix at number 3.
You mean Zach Wilson as in dropping bombs and banging moms? That Zach Wilson?
That guy.
All right.
That guy that couldn't throw a ball 5 yards for the Jets is ahead of Bo Nix on the depth chart. How's that possible? If he's as good as you're saying he is, he's your number 3.
It's psychological warfare.
You think it is?
Absolutely.
Is that worse than the Vikings listing J.J. McCarthy behind Sam Darnold?
I was going there next.
Is that I think the Vikings listing J.J. McCarthy behind Sam Darnold is worse than what Bo Nix. Because Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy has more hype than Bo Nix.
Yeah, but I mean, also too, look at the quarterback in front of him. Would you argue that Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than whoever the person you said, Jarrett Stidham?
That's tough.
See, that's
I don't know.
That's
a real good question.
I think that's good.
Oh.
Now, I know in the case of the Vikings, there's a lot of talk about how Kevin O'Connell is basically intentionally putting J.J. McCarthy through the meat grinder to see what he's made of. So it sounds like, I mean, obviously they're looking at J.J. McCarthy as the future. I mean, he might be the present depending on how, Mr. Mr. Sam Darnold does and
Right.
the other guy they have. But yeah, I don't know. I like who the question is. This is interesting. Of the two, Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy, who's going to be starter first?
J.J. McCarthy, because Justin Jefferson is going to become a diva like week 2 or 3 when Sam Darnold can't throw him the ball and demand that they go to McCarthy.
Wait, you're saying J.J. McCarthy's going to start week 1?
No.
Okay.
That I say J.J. McCarthy will start first because Justin Jefferson's going to get frustrated with how bad Sam Darnold is and be like, I want McCarthy in there.
But Sam Darnold's looked good in camp.
It's Sam Darnold.
But you didn't say the second time around. You said frustrated. The first time you said diva. Is there a difference?
No, because I think just most wide receivers are divas.
Well,
I think we agree on that.
I think that's a general characterization I can agree with. Yeah, and I also too, J.J. McCarthy is at least as of right now is starting today. At least he'll be starting in today's game.
They said he's going to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of playing time because at this point you don't have to prove Sam Darnold or Nick Mullins. Those guys are there. You know what you got with them.
Well, but when you say that, when you know what you got with Sam Darnold, it's really not good. He's been really bad as an NFL quarterback.
Well, that's okay. True
Really,
enough.
I mean, I like Sam Darnold. Came out of SC, was a great college quarterback. He went to the pros and has not been able to figure it out. Now, to give him, he went to some bad teams.
Well, that's true.
With some bad coaching. So maybe this could be better for him because he does have talent. He showed it as a college player, but it has not transferred whatsoever.
Well, hold on a second. Nathan, you're a witness to this. He spoke ill about a USC graduate.
I will do it. When they're bad.
That's
He's changing in front of our eyes.
Write that down,
guys. Anyway. But I mean, Jarrett Stidham. I'm sorry, he's trash.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson is trash. How is Bo Nix not starting week 1?
Well, that's a good question. Don't know.
He's got to be. This has got to be a mind game.
It could be.
I don't know. I think it is. And I have been watching some stuff on McCarthy too, and he's looked pretty decent in camp.
Who has a better career, Click, McCarthy or Bo Nix?
Which one has a better career?
Yeah.
I think Bo Nix does.
I think McCarthy does.
Wow.
Well, because people are going to say Bo Nix doesn't have a good deep ball. He's more of a West Coast guy, and that's why. McCarthy, though, he didn't really play in college. He just handed the ball off.
Wow, that's a shot.
He didn't throw the ball. He just
shot
handed
across
it off.
the bow.
Besides,
so you're disappointed that he didn't go to the Chargers with his ex-coach.
What I'm saying is he's not a proven thrower. He's just not. So we don't know what we got with him yet. I've seen a couple of his deep balls in camp. They're okay. They're not great. But that's the same knock on Nix is he doesn't have a deep ball. So that's where Caleb Williams is different because he does have a deep ball.
And he does sidearm throws. He looks like a crazy man out there.
But you know what's really funny is there's one team right now that is like they did nothing in the offseason on the quarterback wise. Not really anyway. Nothing significant. And their quarterbacks in camp have done nothing but struggle.
Here we go. I'll cue it up. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. You're supposed to talk. This is the Raiders.
That's the Raiders. I know.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, you're too.
I didn't know where you were going with it.
You're too young for that.
I thought you were just having a musical solo.
A musical stroke?
No. Oh yeah, I forgot. He's too young to know what the Raiders song is.
I thought you were auditioning.
The autumn wind is a Raider.
I thought you were.
No.
Well, that's too bad.
We'll get into more of that in the after show. But yeah, the Raiders, no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Hey, if you're gonna stick around, we're gonna go on to the social medias. We're gonna be live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for the after show. So if you're listening, want to get some more Weekend Warriors, stick around. Catch us on all the socials throughout the week.
And don't forget, we're counting down. We got 2 more weeks on the Saturday slot, and then we start September 1st, Sunday football show with the Weekend Warriors.
That's right.
It'll be fantastic. Sundays at 8 a.m. So looking forward to that. Another great week, another great show. Nathan's wrong about everything Diamondbacks. Otani's the MVP, and we all know it. I'm just going to leave it there. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you again next week on the radio show. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey.
All right, and we're still live on social.
Live on social.
I thought you were having like an American Idol moment and like auditioning live on our show, and I was like, are we becoming a music show? Like, what?
When he was doing that? Yeah, that was funny.
I was just
because you know that Raiders theme though, don't you?
No,
you've never heard that. The NFL used it for years.
I am the most musically challenged person in America, and it's never gonna change because I do not really care to listen to music.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that's not even a listen. It's usually the ambiance that they'll do anytime they're talking about the Raiders on NFL Network or ESPN or whatever. They always manage to play that song, that was back in the 60s when the NFL Films was super popular and John Facenda was the voice of the NFL, and they had all these great songs and yeah, they're actually, what's true is they're all dated. Like there's songs about Paul Hornung. Who the heck is Paul Hornung unless you're either Notre Dame or a Packer fan, right? Or, they had a song about Earl Campbell. Remember the rumbling, bumbling, stumbling?
I do remember that.
So these songs are dated. So, yeah, I don't fault Nathan for not knowing it. The thing is, though, the Raiders song gets played a lot.
So we missed a text. There was one last text from Beer Bob. It said, 2018 was Josh Allen's rookie year. No wonder why they got blown out by Baltimore.
That's fine.
That's fair.
They still lost by 44.
That's fair.
Kyler Murray never lost to 44.
Well, sorry.
Is that what you just said? He never lost by 44?
I don't think Kyler Murray's ever. Fact check me.
We're going to fact check
he might have.
live on the air.
Most points, Kyler.
Hervey's out in social media world saying Chargers are in trouble. No QB and their receivers looked weak. Hervey was at camp, so he was watching them.
Yeah, he saw it.
And then he said both Raiders and Chargers are in trouble. I said, yeah. I mean, maybe.
I think the Chargers are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah?
I think they're actually going to try to get a top 5 pick.
Really?
I think Nathan's right because
you've been saying that a lot today.
He's trying to make up for what he said about me last week.
What did you say about you?
Nothing. He's just trying to be nicer. I don't know.
Go ahead, finish your thought. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
Yeah, you should be sorry.
Now I'm laughing. Now I can't even think what I was saying. No, I think that as much as I want Jim Harbaugh to be successful, I also want him to fail a little bit.
Why?
Because of because he got to do his thing in Michigan, and now he leaves them behind. He gets a cush NFL job while they're left with dealing with all the sanctions the NCAA is going to drop on him for all the stuff that happened last year.
But yet they just invited him back as the honorary captain for the opening game.
Because he won the national championship.
But think about that. Is that not a kick in the NCAA groin?
Well,
we're going to put this guy out there and go, what are you going to do about it, NCAA?
Now, that's the other thing, too, is that I do love me some NCAA hate. the
Yeah.
organization. I wish they would go away. So I think maybe part.
Amen.
So I think part. Yeah, I think part of
They
it.
will.
Yeah. So part. I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on that. But I do agree that I think Harbaugh is going to struggle in his first year getting back into the NFL.
Well, just because he has to put his team together.
Yeah.
It's not his team right now. It's someone else's team, and there's a lot of pieces missing.
Yeah,
So-
there's a transition period.
Yeah, but look, we were talking about the Raiders. We're starting to get into it, right? And Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, those are their quarterbacks.
Until Tom Brady comes
Well,
out.
Tom Brady.
That's true. Yeah, he's always lurking.
There was a Sports Illustrated writer that went to their camp on the 6th of August who walked away going, wow, that was bad. Throwing pick after pick, missing throws. I mean, both of them, not one of them, both of them.
And they didn't draft anybody, did
Nobody.
they?
Nobody.
They made no moves.
They brought
No
Gardner
significant
Minshew over.
moves.
But didn't Antonio Pierce have that team playing hard at the end of the year last year?
He did. He's a good. I like him. I think he's a good coach, but he doesn't have a quarterback. And you know better than anybody, when you've got a good team and no quarterback, it's really hard.
I don't disagree.
It's really hard. I mean, their defense is going to be elite. That's a great defense they're putting together there. There's no doubt about that. They're going to have that elite D, but you got to have somebody that can throw the ball. What?
Nothing.
Okay. I thought you were going to start talking about the Cardinal defense. But anyway, if the Cardinal offense had a Raiders defense, you'd be a Super Bowl team.
Who's on their defense that makes
that's an interesting
Crosby?
point.
He's one of them, yeah. But overall, their defense is really strong.
How old is Max Crosby?
They're a top 5 defense, dude.
Is he
26.
NFL old, or is he Denny's old?
He's not Ralph's age. He's 26.
What?
Wow.
He's young.
He's probably one of the best defensive players in the game.
I wonder if he asks out if they have a bad year.
Well, you know what? And think about this. With the quarterback situation they have, so if those guys can't cut it, what do you do? Who's out there?
No, they're
Isaac
tanking.
Rochelle.
What?
Isaac Rochelle.
Who's that?
You know who Isaac Rochelle is?
No.
He was a defensive end that played for. He played for the Chargers for many years. Then he bounced around. He was on the Colts for a while. He was on the Browns. He was on the Raiders.
And how does that help him at quarterback?
I don't know. But they just need him. They need a TikTok.
Do you have Tourette's? What's
personality.
going on, dude?
Am I? Wait a second. Wait, where am I? Oh, I forgot.
There's only one guy that I can think of that's out there that could help them.
Who?
Maybe. Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan could help him.
He is out there. I mean, are you going to be okay? Are you stroking? Or
I'm
you had the
having-
music thing?
I'm
then
having
you're-
no. The music thing was intentional.
Then
That
Isaiah,
one-
whoever, and
Isaac Rochelle. I'm going to take a drink of water here, and
Okay.
it's all going to get better. So.
I mean, Tannehill could help him. I mean, they could go after Tannehill because I like Gardner Minshew and all that, but I don't see him as doing much for him. And Aiden O'Connell,
They're not.
I don't see it.
They're not going to call him though. I totally think they're going to embrace it. And when it crashes and burns, they're just going to go for their top 5 pick and then go draft a guy from Colorado probably next season.
Shadur Sanders?
Yeah, he's
really.
That's what everyone's saying. They're saying that.
Have you
guy-
seen him play?
I have watched. I went to Colorado ASU game here. I wasn't impressed.
Not a Shadur fan.
I wasn't impressed
Not a
either.
Shadur fan.
But also, that's what everyone's saying. That's what's probably gonna happen then.
Going to be a down year for quarterbacks in the draft next year.
I don't think it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look good.
But every year it doesn't look good, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 are taking the first round because it's the one position that you have to hit on in the NFL. You can have no Raiders example, no quarterback, but be good everywhere else, but you're terrible.
Yeah, I agree. You'll be one of those teams where you couldn't hit on a quarterback this year because you weren't in the position to do it. You don't have a good quarterback. You didn't get anybody in free agency, so now you're stuck drafting one of these guys, and it's just not a good class.
Yeah, and so what do you do as the Raiders? Honestly, you probably
Free agency.
blow it up next season.
You go free agency.
Or blow it up at the trade deadline. Trade Max Crosby to the Cardinals.
No. No, you don't blow up that defense. That defense is what's going to get you a Super Bowl. Now you got to get a
But
quarterback.
you're not going to get a Super Bowl in 3 or 4 years. What?
You just need a decent quarterback. I think they were 9th in points allowed last year. I mean, that's a good defense.
It is a good defense, but I guess you're holding out for Dak Prescott not to sign his extension. Dude, listen to these free agents that, there's nothing. We're talking about free agent quarterbacks.
Go ahead.
Unless Dak Prescott doesn't sign an extension, which is possible. Because
Yes.
Unlikely, but
he
possible.
can't get tagged in his contract. He can't get tagged. So if he just walks, the Raiders could throw him $60 million.
Sure.
Your next best option. You ready?
Ready.
Drum roll, please. Sam Darnold. That's it.
Ta-da!
Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett. There's nobody out there.
Wow, that sounds like a mega awesome lineup.
You are literally
for high
praying that Dak Prescott doesn't sign an extension. So you have to go to the draft next season. So
Gosh, there's just no one.
you're looking at 2 to 3 years, unless Falcons decide to move on from Cousins. You could maybe trade cut for.
Well, they won't move on for him unless he
Kirk
gets hurt.
Cousins is done after
Penix
this.
played yesterday. He looked pretty decent.
Yeah, they could be like, you know what, we were just going to go with Penix and trade Cousins to the Raiders for like a second or third.
I think the Raiders are in. Ruby says Shador equals Brawny, no bueno.
Oh, that's too funny.
That's probably not a bad example, right?
That's
there.
That's a good part. Hang about Kirk Cousins though. Kirk Cousins with the Raiders
could be interesting.
I mean, it's a cultural mismatch because, like, where's the closest Coles to Allegiant Stadium?
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's true though.
Okay, explain this Coles thing.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
So when Kirk Cousins is known as a clean cut, squeaky clean, I think he is a religious person as his family. He doesn't use profanity. He dresses very much like you went to Kohl's. To like his outfits look like his wife dressed him at Kohl's. Okay. And so that's been the knock on him. So of course, you know, whenever you talk about him with money, it's like he looks like he went to Kohl's to dress. And of course, as you know, if you go to Kohl's and you buy stuff, they have the Kohl's cash, right? That's all it is. He looks very, very plain vanilla, middle America. He dresses very conservatively, but looks like a dad at a barbecue. So how is that compatible with the Raiders?
It's not.
It's not at all.
Not at all.
He's going to go. You know, he's. I mean, the most heated he got was when he was with Washington, and at one time he passed by the camera and goes, "You like that? You like that?" Like that's his equivalent of dropping F-bombs.
Didn't he give himself a concussion too, or is that somebody else?
No, that was some. No, I know what you're talking.
That was Trent Green,
him.
wasn't it?
That was Trent. Yeah, it was somebody else gave himself a concussion, running into a wall after a touchdown or whatever. If that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
That was not Kirk Cousins. No, he's a very good, consistent, stable person. It's just funny when you compare it, to everybody else or most other players in the NFL and how they're flashy and drop a lot of money. Anyway, so it's Kohl's cash.
So, okay, I get it now.
I
was curious.
As long as the closest Kohl's is near Allegiant Stadium, we're good.
I got two things, but we didn't get to on the show. So first off, there's 12 teams in the NFL that haven't gotten a Super Bowl championship. Okay. So they are the Panthers, the Texans, the Lions, the Vikings, the Bills, the Bengals, the Falcons, the Browns, the Jags, Chargers, Titans, and Cards. Okay. Sorry about that. I noticed the Seahawks weren't on that list. Let me double check.
What state?
No, they weren't on that list.
What state were you born in?
Packers. No, they're on the list. Okay, so there's one loser in the room. All right. So.
Wow.
All right. So there's those teams. So Panthers, Texans, Lions, Vikings, Bills, Bengals, Falcons, Browns, Jags, Chargers, Cards, and Titans have never won a Super Bowl. Which one of those teams will end that drought?
Lions.
That was too quick.
I've been thinking
he's
about
got
it for
a good
while.
point this season. The Lions do look good.
Okay. You think the Lions?
I think the Lions of that group. I think the Lions will be the first one to
Over the
break out.
Bills?
Yes. Over the
Over the
Vikings
Bengals?
even. And over the Bungles, yes.
I think the Bills take a step back this season.
Possible.
I think just
over the Texans?
On that list, ooh.
Throwing some names out here.
That's a tough one,
There's
but
some
I
good
still
teams
think
on
so.
here.
Yeah, there are some good teams this year. But in the
Like, all kidding aside, I don't think the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl anytime soon. Titans, no, I think they're in a lot of trouble. Chargers, I think Chargers will be interesting in a couple of years once he puts his team together.
He needs a year or two.
Jags are interesting. They're not bad. They're very interesting, right?
I would go Bengals or Lions this season. Long term, I can't say Lions or Bengals though, because they're just not well ran franchises. But this season, those two definitely have the most potential. And then I would go Texans, Cardinals next to tier 2.
I think, I think the Lions historically have been a bad franchise. I think that may be changing, but
Possibly.
Organizational stuff that is just as important as the players on the field, as we found out in recent years. So, from that perspective, some of those teams on there, if given their current ownership situation, they're never going to succeed. Never. Ever.
I think I like the Lions. I think the Lions are going in the right direction. I don't know if they're going to win a Super Bowl this year. I always like the Bills. Whenever Josh Allen's there, I think there's a shot. Bengals, I'm kind of lukewarm on. Texans are the team that are interesting to me. The Texans, again, they have a harder record they have a harder schedule this year. If they come out on this schedule and they start doing what they did last year.
Yeah, with Stephon Diggs, too.
Yeah, I think the Texans then at that point have a great shot this year at being in the Super Bowl.
Like I said, I put them same tier as Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals.
I think Texans and Cardinals are the same tier level.
No, Texans are way ahead of the Cardinals.
No way.
Come on. All BS aside, the Texans aren't ahead of the Cardinals. The way that team's put together offensively and defensively right now, they've got the pieces.
I think the Cardinals
don't have the pieces yet.
I think the Cardinals do.
They don't have
You're
sleeping. Dude, the defense is not there.
You're sleeping, man.
The defense.
You're sleeping.
Do you think the Texans' defense is better than the Cardinals?
Yeah. But I think the Cardinals...
They're not even on the same level.
I think man, you're sleeping. I think you're just sleeping on the Cardinals. I really do.
I'm not. I'm not sleeping on them. I'm just... If you compare them to the Texans, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, that's
They're
fine.
not even... They're where they want to go where the Texans are because they did it right and they did it quick, right? I mean, great coaching staff. I think the Cardinals' coaching staff is really good. I like their coaching staff. I like what they've done in the Arizona. I think they've done a great job, but they're not even close yet.
I
They
think
have
their
to get defense
division
together.
is going to be a lot tougher than it was last year. Jags are going to be better.
Jags will be better.
Colts are going to be better if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy. I just think sophomore slumps just happens. You see Corbin Carroll. I think C.J. Stroud came out, tore up the league. Full year of tape on him. Could struggle a little bit.
He's got a running game. He's got receivers.
Who's his running back?
You tell me.
You said it all confidently. He's got a running back.
He has a running game. He had it last year too.
He did not really have a great.
It wasn't horrible.
Joe Mixon and Damian
Well, Mixon
Pierce.
got there this year, right? He's from Cincinnati.
That's his running game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're getting excited
And
about
I'm
over
not getting
James
excited.
Conner.
He's got himself as well, who's a heck of a runner.
Kyler Murray's heck of a runner.
Yeah, he is. No, I'm not taking that away from him. How about his weapons at wide receiver?
Stephon Diggs. Okay. Yeah. I think Stephon Diggs is good, but he is a diva. Even Josh Allen has made comments of like we won't miss him and whatnot.
I was gonna say something when he mentioned Stephon Diggs because his time with the Vikings.
Right.
Yeah, he's a diva.
Stephon Diggs is great till he explodes, and not on the field. Usually it's off the field. Tank Dell, he's good. I like Dell.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Schultz, I think it's on the same level. Trey McBride. I think the Texans and the Cardinals are going to have similar seasons.
Similar offenses?
Similar seasons.
Let's look at their defenses now.
You
want to compare them?
I think the Cardinals defense will play hard and keep them in games.
Cardinals defense will be at the bottom of the league. And I'll bet you anything you want to bet on that. They'll be the bottom third of the league. No doubt.
Bottom third or bottom fourth? Because that's a little different of a bet.
I'll go bottom fourth.
Whew, that makes me tempted.
Come on. You even know this.
They'll play hard enough to keep them in games, and it's going to come down to the offense.
It's okay, man. You can accept the fact that they're going to have a poor defense.
You can accept that they're going to be better.
Poor defenses make for exciting games to watch.
That
is really true.
There's going to be a lot of high-scoring Cardinals.
Yeah,
games
I think
this
there
year.
will be. I think you want to play the over on most Cardinal games.
So you'll take the under on 7.5 wins.
Will I take the under on 7.5?
That's it. Okay,
that's what Vegas is at. Vegas is right now 7.5.
I've got them in my mind right around 7 wins.
And what do you have the Texans? Like 10?
It depends on how they respond to the schedule. If they are what we saw let me say this. If they are what we saw last year, but last year they had a weak schedule. But if they are what we saw last year, they're 12 games. They're 12 wins.
I don't want no out.
But
I don't want
you have to.
No. You believe in your team. You believe in your take, or you don't believe in it. I believe in my take no matter what happens to the schedule. Same thing with Cardinals. Like I could say the same thing. Cardinals will make the playoffs with Kyler Murray if everyone stays healthy. You can't have that caveat. Do you think the Texans will win 10 games?
Yes.
That's what they won last year.
I do. I think they'll win more than that.
Let's look at their schedule. You got the Steelers week 1, Giants week 2. Those are winnable games.
Those are 2 wins.
Rams. We don't know what the Rams.
We don't know what the Rams
These
are
are preseason. Sorry.
Oh,
okay. Colts. We got to talk about your phone.
Go ahead, Colts.
So without Richardson, that'll be tough.
Colts are a question mark.
Bears, week 2, that's early.
They beat the Bears.
Caleb probably will struggle week 2. Vikings, do they beat the Vikings?
They beat the Vikings.
Yes. I think so.
Jags,
by that point.
Bills, okay, Patriot, Packers, Colts, Jets, Lions, Well, their schedule is kind of brutal. Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens.
They have a tough schedule. Their end of the year schedule is harder. That's what I'm saying. It's going to depend on who they are. We don't know yet.
Yeah, but
we're looking at last year.
You're right, and their schedule was easy last year. You just can't say you can't take. That's the same thing that I say with if Kyler can stay healthy. There's blah blah blah. Like I don't see it. I don't see 10 wins for the Texans. I just don't.
Okay. How about you?
I was looking at some other numbers. I'll be honest. I wasn't. I was paying some attention to that as far as you talking about the Texans being 10 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I'm going to say no. That's my instinct.
No.
It's going to be 9. It's going to be 9. I don't think it's going to be 10. They'll get close. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I just think that it's too competitive in that division. So I don't know.
You're saying no. I'm writing this down.
Oh, we're right.
No.
I'm writing this down.
I'm saying no.
You know you have a computer in front of you, you boomer.
Niels, no. You said yes?
No, I don't think they win 10.
You're both no. You're both stupid. All right.
That's fine.
I'm not Arrowhead Grill confident bet, but like I do like a in and out bet on it that they don't win 10.
Okay. Then let me throw this at you. Okay, the power rankings.
Don't throw something.
I'm going to throw this pen at you. The power rankings came out for the AFC. Here's the top 10. Let me see what you think about this. Number 1's the Chiefs. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. Number 2 is the Bengals. Number 3 is the Ravens. Number 4 is the Texans. Number 5, Bills. Number 6, Dolphins. Number 7, Browns. I was surprised by that. Number 8, Jets. Team no one's talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 9, Jags. Number 10, Colts.
I take the Bills over the Texans.
Sure you would, because of our conversation we just had.
Yeah.
What do you
That's
think
interesting.
I mean, I think it's a pretty accurate top 10. The Jets are the wild card, in my opinion, because we don't know what we're going to get with the Jets yet.
I think Dolphins are the wild card.
Well, in keeping with the Homer attitude about some things, I didn't hear the Packers in there.
This is AFC.
Oh, AFC. Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm just going to sit down here and shut the hell up.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I didn't hear you talk about the Packers for the AFC. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh,
because they're
boy.
not in the AFC.
Wow.
All right.
I am. Oof.
How about the Jets? The Jets are no one's talking about the Jets.
That's true.
With the running game that they have, if Aaron Rodgers comes back and he's half of what he usually is, how awesome is that offense going to be? They've already got a good defense.
He's 40.
Do you think...
What is this ageism thing with you?
That's how most
old
millennials
for
are.
football.
For you, you think it's old for everything.
Ageist.
I mean, I'm at 33 and I feel old. 34. I don't know my age anymore. I'm 34 and I feel old, so I can't imagine getting the Denny's discount that you get.
Jesus.
So, so here's what I think is happening with the Jets.
Okay.
This is my hot take. The reason why we're not hearing much about the Jets is because the media is intentionally not talking about the Jets.
Ooh.
Why is that?
Because of Aaron Rodgers.
I can see that.
Because they don't like he's come out and said some he's made some very pointed and some not so pointed political statements about things. He's been on he's been all over the podcast tour talking to different organizations, and he's been saying a bunch of stuff that's on social media. I think that they're actually stifling a lot of Jets conversation. That's what I think's happening. Is that a conspiracy theory? 1,000%. But we all know that sometimes when those things happen, I think that the media, if they don't like somebody for whatever reason, they're not going to talk about them.
Right.
And so I have a feeling that's why we don't the fact that we're thinking the Jets are a surprise is because we don't hear about them. Nobody talks about them. Once in a while, they'll show Aaron Rodgers in practice because they're praying that his other Achilles blows up in practice, right? Or anytime he's not there, like the focus is always the negative when it comes to the Jets.
Well, because people don't like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, right. So that's what I mean. Or the media doesn't like Aaron Rodgers,
right.
And so of course the media. And again, you're like, well, you're a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, the media, the people in the media are human too, and they have attitudes and opinions about things.
Sure.
It is what it is. Like that's a fact of life, right? So I guarantee you that some of that's because they're just not they're intentionally not talking about the Jets.
Okay.
That's what I think. That's again, I could be dead wrong, but I consider myself a casual NFL fan, so I watch a lot of the stuff on social media, turn on ESPN, watch the NFL Network training camp shows, and they're talking about stuff. They don't really talk about the Jets that much, and they should be talked about more because if Rodgers is healthy he can raise the level of play of his teammates, assuming that he doesn't decide to go selfish again, right? Whatever the case is, right? And I'm no Aaron Rodgers apologist by any stretch. I mean, the guy is a little odd. Let's just be honest, right?
He's more than a little odd, yeah.
Well, I'm being generous, but I'm just saying that's why it's not being. That's just, again, that's my take. And opinions are like armpits. Everybody has a couple, and they both stink. You're welcome.
I think if Aaron Rodgers comes out and he's Aaron Rodgers, the Jets we'll be talking about the Jets in the playoffs.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's just he's old.
And by the way,
ageism.
By the way, none of that credit goes to the Jets head coach. I don't think he's that good.
Oh, I think Salah's a good coach.
Saleh.
I think he's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
He's a great defensive coordinator, I'll tell you that. And he's done a lot with the Jets defense just going there his first year. He just didn't have a quarterback to drive the car.
And one could argue that the only reason why they stayed in anything at all last year was because of the defense. So,
well, yeah, I mean, and they got tired in games and stuff. And what you saw with the Jets defense last year was a great defense that was on the field the whole time that just couldn't handle it in the second half, which is what you're going to see with the Cardinal defense this year, is a not good defense that's going to be on the field all the time and going to look bad, especially in the second half. The second halves are going to be brutal for you guys. My opinion. You'll see. I'm not saying that out of hate. I'm saying that out of factual reality.
One of my highlights of this week was some guy tweeted us, and he was just talking about how much you hate Corbin Carroll. And I think you're going to become just the guy who hates Arizona. And that's fine.
I don't hate Arizona.
We need a guy like that, too, for me to argue with. But, like, you're becoming that guy that just bashes on Arizona.
No, what I am is I'm the guy.
I love it.
I'm the guy that gives facts so that fans' bias is put aside. Right?
Facts.
Just like the Ohtani conversation we had. It was a factual conversation.
Just like the Dodgers are going to win the division by 17 games. That's
facts.
a fact. Yeah.
Facts
that are
anyway.
skewed.
Are you going to the game today?
I'm doing the D-backs Phillies.
Oh, you're not going to the Cardinal preseason game?
Nah, I thought regular season was more important than preseason.
Yeah, I had to make a decision. I think that's fair. And also, too, it's going to be, I mean, Cardinals preseason versus, the Diamondbacks are hot. Arguably one of the hottest, if not the hottest team in baseball at this moment.
Second hottest.
And they're playing the everyone who assumes is going to be the NL, the division winner and probably playing for the NL championship, right?
Phillies?
So I think that's an excellent game.
It's giveaway ring night. They're giving away the NL champion ring.
A replica?
Oh, the one that Nick Ahmed didn't want to have after he got released.
He said no to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said no. Wait, you're a diehard Diamondbacks fan and you didn't know that controversy around that?
I don't think you should be getting rings for NL championships.
No, you should not.
I don't. I think we all agree that participation trophies
shouldn't
be happening. And I feel like I get it, winning the NL is a big deal. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just not a big person of, you got second place, here's a ring.
It is a championship, though.
You got second place.
National League championship. That was first place in the National League.
I'm with you.
Though.
It's second place, and I know you guys would rather have a real ring, but it's still something. It's an accomplishment.
Second place. But it's going to be a big game. It's like they're projecting over 40,000 people.
Who's pitching?
Zach Gallen versus...
that's going to be a good...
Gallen struggled, so...
I'd still... it's like that. I felt that way about Kershaw for a long time. It's like, yeah, he's struggling, but he's our ace. We got to go with him. I'm not like that anymore. Oh, my Kershaw.
Oh, Aaron Nola.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Ooh, good matchup.
Plus 40,000 plus.
That'd be fun.
That's going to be a lot of energy.
What time's that at?
I got to be there at 2:15.
Okay.
Oh, it's earlier.
It's a late game.
No, it's 5 o'clock, but
I got
to. It's 5:10.
Oh, it must be the ESPN game then.
Are you going to give us a preview of what food you're going to have?
I don't know what I'm doing for food, and I need to figure that out.
Oh,
I got 2 hours to figure that out.
Well, last night you did steak.
Yeah, it turned out terrible.
Broccoli.
Oh, it was. It looked like it might be.
It looked
good.
No, it was terrible. The steak did not turn out good. I've never cooked a fillet before, so that was weird to cook.
Oh, you have to butterfly it.
Does that mean cutting it?
You cut it in half, lay it out, it's butterflied out, and it cooks better, quicker.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It just didn't work.
So tonight you're undecided.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'm in the mood to cook. I might just go get a Philly cheesesteak. Play the Philly vibe a little bit.
You buy food from there ever? Cardinal food? I mean, not Cardinal, but
I thought you had
food.
one time.
They give me the hot dogs.
Besides the hot dogs, you ever buy anything from there?
They give me the hot dogs.
He doesn't buy anything from there.
Look, I want to support my team, but I can't justify paying $20 for average stuff from concession stands.
Can't you get like the $2 hot dogs from that one
Have
stand?
you seen them?
Yeah, I know. They're awful.
They're like yay big.
That's what she
And
said.
It's
Anyway.
just not. I can't do it. I just can't.
So you bring food in every game?
Every game. Besides when the D-backs give me a hot dog. Which their hot dog last game was phenomenal. Their
Okay.
Philly dog was really good. I also am trying to eat healthier. So, like, it's just, that's why I did steak and broccoli. Because I'm trying to eat a little bit better. So I'll probably just be doing a lot of meat. I have duck in my fridge. Might cook
That's where it
that.
belongs, in the fridge. I don't like duck.
Duck is too rich.
Why don't you duck go out of
Here.
here?
Wah, wah.
So I saw online this week that you posted about your shirts. What were you trying to accomplish there? You were showing.
We're going to talk about this on the show?
Yeah, I'm curious. What do you?
Well, like, you're just going to bring it up on
I don't
the
even know what it
show?
is. I'm asking. Is it a bad thing? I'll
Trying to get my own made.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah,
and I saw you showing a couple different shirts, and I was
Yeah,
just
I'm
curious.
trying to get like my own Cactus logo made, my own shirts
Okay.
made, because one, I'm tired of, maybe it's just selfishly, people complimenting it and not being able to, like, yeah, here, go buy it here, and giving other people free publicity, because it's kind of gone, my shirts, like, people, I might find Waldo at games now. They're like, where's Mr. AZ Sports? It's kind of hilarious.
Find Waldo.
So I'm just trying to get my own made, and I'm also kind of just don't want to wear a polo. I want to get in shirt form, so I can just wear a shirt.
You know what? I didn't even notice this today.
I did.
I didn't even
sick.
think about it. His top button has been unbuttoned the entire.
My throat hurts.
You said that last week too.
Yeah, I think it's just bad allergies.
Oh, okay.
But still, though, it's
I
like,
like the idea of. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just like, I'm shocked that I didn't notice it. It's weird.
I
but
did.
Anyway,
I like the idea of you getting a T-shirt.
Yeah, I don't want to. I feel like when I wear this, I have to wear pants and look professional, and I don't like that. I want to get a shirt form, and then eventually just maybe make green shorts too, and make
what
it-
kind of shoes would you wear?
Oh, dude, I wear the same shoes everywhere. I only wear no bull shoes. No bull shoes. Those are the only shoes I really wear, because they're just really good for like standing and walking and working out. So I just usually. I like to spend money, so things that I can just say, hey, I like this, and I just buy these. Prevent me from buying many things. But I'm just trying to get made in T-shirt form, and I'm trying to get my own little cactus made, so I can just use that kind of branding for like hats and stuff.
But you
too.
want it everywhere on the T-shirt?
Yeah, I want edge to edge print, which is I've learned pretty hard to find edge to edge print.
Very hard.
Yeah, I spent 5 hours talking to people, and I found some places, so we're working through it. But like State 48's like, oh, we don't do edge to edge. We can do one in the middle. I'm like, that part of the vibe is how it's everywhere, and I like that. But I also want to be able to get my own. I don't like how it's like upside down, so I'm kind of just going for a more. I want to be able to say that's my cactus, and make a brand from it.
What's your own cactus?
I want my own cactus. So I got someone trying to play around with the logo. But,
What would your own cactus look like?
Would
it have like a picture of your face superimposed? Like you've got the
Oh.
two arms like this, and then there's like a
I like
a
that.
faint
Dude, I like
Nathan
that.
face right here.
You're fired.
No, that sounds good. It'd be like you doing this.
No.
I'm a saguaro. I'm a saguaro. I'm a saguaro.
I think that's.
I like
Wow.
this. I like this vibe. But I want to change this cactus a little bit.
Yeah, like that's a little more.
Well,
of a,
I'm
you have to
actually getting
show
a
that
heat,
on
I'm
the-
getting a heat press, and we're going to start doing some shirts in house here. But I can't do an end to end thing though.
the. Yeah, I like the modern.
Oh,
like that.
I'm
the
not
modern
against
cactus.
shirts that are not end to end. My brand for my shirts, my own shirts need to be end to end. But I think the shirt we sell don't have to be end to end.
Well, we can start. We're actually going to get a heat press, and we're going to start doing some shirts. So we can think
I think
of a
there's
Mr. AZ Sports shirt.
I think there's some cool shirts we can make, but for me, the shirts I wear to games will be end to end press. So that's just hard to find.
That's going to be real hard to find.
I found some. It's just so I just got to figure out how I want to design.
Maybe in
it.
China, you might find some of that.
I found one local.
China.
So I'm also trying to support local.
That's good, but I think in China you can find that stuff.
China.
Yeah, I emailed this company, asked if they tell me their distributor, but they wouldn't.
They
Because
said
it comes from China.
They said
I don't
China.
care if it comes from China. Just tell me who it is. So I'm figuring out. I'll figure it out. I just got to get the cactus remade too to how I want it to be made, and then I'll get them screen printed, and then I can just wear a normal shirt because I'm just tired of wearing a polo to every game. I mean, I'll keep the polo for like the shows and stuff, but like I just want to be able to wear a shirt and shorts.
Okay.
So
That's our update on Mr. AZ Sports.
way to
wardrobe.
call me out.
No, man, we can talk about
Wow.
your wardrobe. It's with people know you.
Can we talk about yours?
Sure. What do you want to know about?
I don't know.
All right. I want one. Okay, I got to do a shout out. We got to do a shout out for our LA guy Hervey.
Hervey.
So not really involved with our Arizona stuff, but our LA stuff, which is going to be separate from what we do here. Went and visited a bunch of training camps in the last week and a half.
Which was awesome.
And if you looked online, you saw a lot of the videos we put up with him at training camp, asking questions and just doing some stuff. And so, Hervey, thanks for doing that. It's actually been really good stuff. I loved your Cowboys video. I thought it was really cool. You asked a couple of really good questions. I like the one where you said, Dak or Romo. That was kind of funny with the girls, who they wanted to date. And then the Charger one I thought came out really well as also. There's really good stuff there. That Charger facility is pretty cool. And then the Ram one was good as well. I like the interview with that kid who didn't have a clue what 3 stadiums that the Rams have played in. He couldn't figure it out. He finally did with his dad's help, I think it was. It was what? SoFi, Coliseum, and then Anaheim Stadium.
Yeah, Anaheim, the big A.
So it was really good video. It was really good content. Appreciate that. Giving people an inside look at other training camps, because we rarely ever get to go to other training camps.
Right.
I wish you could have went to the Saints one. I understand that one's too far, but I know they're out there also. But
yep,
just thought I'd throw that out there. And speaking of the Saints that are in town this week, you have a hometown kid that's going to be playing quarterback today, and Spencer Rattler for the Saints.
Oh, I forgot he got drafted by the Saints.
Yeah, and so he's trying to win the backup role, and he's been actually getting better. He had a footwork issue and some other things, but he's improved a lot. So
Winston's their starter.
Derek Carr's our starter.
I forgot about
that. Yeah,
Derek
so
Carr.
Derek Carr. So he's bad.
Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah, he's still around. I know, right? But he's battling with Jake Haener for the number 2 spot. And actually right now they're saying it's a dead heat. So that's a definite player to watch today would be Spencer Rattler. Local kid, went to Pinnacle. So kind of cool.
Do you think the Raiders regret moving on from Carr right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. That was a mistake.
I agree.
Huge mistake.
I think if they had Carr, they're probably a playoff team.
Yeah. So, they are, if they have Carr with that defense. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
And then, so another player to watch today would be Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody's looking to see how he does.
Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors. Who do you think has a better year?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Thank you.
Easy.
This is the new show is just going to be
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be Malik Neighbors is a baller. The only thing about Malik Neighbors is he's dealing with Daniel Jones, right? I mean,
we got some Kyler Murray respect here. He's putting Kyler Murray above Daniel Jones. You heard it here first, everybody. He doesn't completely
that's
hate
not
Kyler.
really difficult to do, though.
I think Harrison.
Nathan.
I think Harrison will have a bigger year, and this is why. They're going to be I think they're going to be in a lot of blowout games. I know you don't believe that, but I think they will. And I think they're going to be forced to have to throw a lot, which is why I think Connor is going to become more of a back out of the backfield, where he's going to be catching the ball versus running. And Harrison's going to be catching a lot. They're going to. I bet you anything Murray's throwing 40+ passes a game.
What do you think's going on with the CeeDee Lamb drama? Do you think he gets moved?
No, I don't think he gets moved. You don't get rid of CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb can't get moved. You need him.
You don't get rid of Ayuk.
You find a way to appease him.
If you look at Ayuk's numbers versus CeeDee Lamb, I'll take CeeDee Lamb all day long.
Is that though? They got Debo.
They've got Debo. Ayuk is a good system guy in that system. He's not better than CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's way better.
They have Ayuk, and they also have the tight end.
For who? The Niners?
Kittle.
Yeah, George Kittle.
You take Ayuk and put that Ayuk on like the Browns, where he's number 1 option. I think he does a much bigger impact.
No, I think he becomes what he really is, an okay wide receiver, not worth $32 million a year.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the Browns is a terrible example.
We've seen that. We've seen that happen with guy. I can't remember the guy in Dallas that left Dallas. He was the number 2 guy, and he became mediocre when he left. But he was a good number 2 guy. He wasn't a number 1 guy. This is going back a ways. I don't remember.
Oh, you're showing your age again.
Yeah, but I think Ayuk's the same boat. I mean, he's not a number 1 guy. He's just not. He's not. He's a good system guy with the Niners. He will not be a good number 1 anywhere else.
What do you think, Neil?
I have no opinion on this.
Okay.
I'm staying. Right. My name is Paul, and that's between y'all. How you like that?
Where are you getting this stuff from?
What?
All these little sayings today.
I've had them all my life. What do you mean? This is me.
All right.
This is who I am.
I'm dry. I'm done.
You're dry?
Yeah. What you got? Anything else, guys?
Nothing.
You want to hit on?
I got nothing else.
You want to hit on anything, Nathan, that we missed?
I'm hungry, so no.
Well,
okay.
The other thing too, went real quick, is I'm looking forward. I know that this. I realize this opinion isn't shared by at least one person in this group. Won't say who it is. You can pointing to Nathan if you can't tell. The Little League World Series.
I like it.
We obviously have the women's side, the girls
softball.
They're approaching their championship game very soon.
Already?
Yeah, they start their World Series before the boys
Didn't
do.
know that.
But the boys are now, all the regionals are happening,
right?
And we're going to be getting to. I love the games leading up to the World Series because as I think you and I both have had our sons play baseball at that level. And so obviously it's super fun to think about the idea of getting to go to Williamsport, right?
Sure.
And they take care of those teams.
They do.
Like when you get a World Series berth, your entire team and 2 coaches get all expenses paid trip to Williamsport. Like they spend money. It's a big deal. Anyway,
used to not do that, but yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but then now, like I guess I like the games, and I kind of like the games at the World Series. Because obviously now they do you bat the roster, right? They added that rule I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, you have to.
So you have to bat the roster, and there's some other stuff there to make kids more, other kids more included, whatever. But I guess for me, I struggle with the hype they're giving these kids at this game. I mean, I guess that's kind of the point, right? Like, hey, this is what it feels like to be a major league ball player, and I get the angle, but I just worry sometimes. Like, hopefully these coaches are teaching these kids. This is not the pinnacle of your life. This is super fun. This is a great accomplishment, and you're going to have these memories the rest of your life, and you're going to make lifelong friends in some cases. But, don't let the hype get to you. I always get concerned when I see, little kids start taking on major league attitudes and stuff, like bat flips and just general talking trash and stuff. It's like, that's a little young, but that doesn't take away from the overall experience. That's just my take on it. But ultimately, I am very much looking forward to the next couple weeks.
So my son did Cooperstown, and that's similar to that experience where they go to New York and they play in all these great games against all these teams from around the country and the world even. But let me say this. Here's my biggest issue with the Little League World Series, and it pisses me off. It just does. These kids at 12 years old, 12, 11, and 10, some are even 13, depending on the age thing, are pitching from 46 feet and running 60-foot bases.
Right.
That is insane. That is for 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds. We were in club ball our whole lives. At the time we're 12 years old, we're playing 12, 13 years old, we're playing on major league fields. They're throwing from 60 feet 6 inches and they're 90-foot bases. So a lot of these kids that are on these little league teams that are playing club, and a lot of them do play club, and then they play little league when they're 12 just so they can get into this stuff, but they're all club players.
Yes.
They're used to pitching from 60 feet, and they're going there and throwing from 46. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
It's ridiculous.
That's true.
You want to make this a better game? Get a bigger field.
So,
do it the right way for the kids this age.
Is it more entertaining since it's smaller?
Well, sure, because think about it. A guy that can throw pretty decent at 60 feet has now lost 14 feet, and he's throwing how much harder?
That's why they do it then, probably.
Right. I mean, that's your 12, 13-year-olds. Your 11-year-olds are throwing past 50 feet, 50-something feet.
Right. Well, I think part of it, too, is that there was a time where you needed to have the field smaller to make it reasonably competitive for the kids.
8, 9, and 10.
But everything about the sport has gotten so much better. Training's better. The equipment's better. So it's like, I agree with you that we need to think about moving the fields back or changing the dimensions, increasing dimensions. Now, the problem, of course, is that there is a massive amount of investment all over the country in these little league fields, right? With the same, so now you're talking about all these places adjusting their field size, which is going to move the outfield fences further back, and sometimes you can't do it, right? So I get the logistics issues with it, but I do agree.
It bothers me when you watch this and you see these little kids that are hitting home run after home run and they're throwing hard from 46 feet. Man, go play against club teams and try that.
Yeah, when they get to real life. Yeah.
If you watch the Babe Ruth, the World Series and all that, that's where they play on the legit size fields and they do all that. That's real, right? This is just these guys going into the little league, their local little league, and playing on these little tiny fields. It bugs me. I don't like it. It takes away from what it really is. But anyway, it's a cool event and all that. I just wish they would adjust especially the pitching distance. That's just ridiculous.
Point taken for sure.
So, anyway,
all right.
I'm off my soapbox. I'm done. So, hey, another great week, another good show. We're going to go ahead and say good day. Good day.
Good day.
Good day for today. And we'll be back next week. We have 2 shows left on Saturday. Last 2 Weekend Warrior Saturday shows. And then we are off to a new NFL show on Sunday mornings, which
Woohoo!
can't wait to do that. So thanks for joining us, especially if you've been around for the whole hour and a half. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Toodaloo.
There's our toodaloo.